morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, what's good, Amelia?
Good morning.
How are you doing?
What's good with you?
Still fat and black, you know, and that's PHAT fat. So I don't want nobody to get it misconstrued. It's PHAT fat. Pretty hot and tempting still, but it's all good, you know. God's blessings. So we here. Oh man,
Exactly.
Ready for today's show?
Yes, I am. I'm very excited. Our guest has a wealth of knowledge. I mean, I love that. And when we were talking, how he was talking about him just really taking control of his career and knowing who he is and doing his own thing. And that's kind of where we're at right now. As a society. So it's always good to talk to the people that know what they're doing.
Right. That's what's up.
Not the idea of what they should do, but actually know what they're doing.
Thank you. Yep. I say the same thing. So, and that's what's going on. Met this brother, on how the Instagram lives are actually they're popping, but you got to pick your content. And every time I've watched him on Instagram Live, first of all, he has that radio voice, like every 15 minutes he start and he goes through his little thing, and I'm like, this dude here, he does drops. I know he does. But he's a cool brother, man, and we're gonna go on without further delay, and we're gonna introduce our guest. Coming up, y'all, we have the one, the only Mach357, aka
Woo!
the Evening Experience. Let's go. Where's he at?
Yeah.
There he is, my dude. What's good with you, brother?
What's popping? What's
good, man? Glad to have you aboard, man. So, we was telling the people, I told her how I met you and everything, and just like the way your body of work and what you do. And I was like, you know what? Let's interview an interviewer. How's that? How's that? How we do that? How do you interview an interviewer? So
it's a process for me. So just to introduce myself, so the way that people normally hear me. So once again, it's board Mach357. This is the Evening Experience Radio Show. It's 7 to 9 on Thursday. Goes down right here in the boudoir until COVID is over. We here, we live, we lit, and I appreciate the opportunity to be right here today to interview with these incredible people. How do you interview an interviewer? You ask them questions.
Right. You right about that. And just from that line alone that he just did is what made me like, okay, this dude is interesting. So and I stuck around. I from the other Thundercats that listened to him, that's how I fell in. And I was like, yo, I said, all right, this dude, I like what he does. So that's when we just said, yo, let's do this. And I reached out to him. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, DMecca. I do have a question for you. Technology has changed so much. Even when you look at internet radio and the whole business infrastructure of podcasting, with somebody as seasoned as yourself that actually was in the radios, stations and studios doing radio versus now doing it from your home, what are the pluses and the minuses of it all, in your opinion?
The plus is I'm not paying the rent. Because when you go into a studio and you're independent agent, you're not quote unquote, you pay to have your show there. And the process for me is I'm glad I don't have to pay anymore. The downfall, if you want to say, or the thing that you lack is, when you have that board control or whatever the case is, because like right now I don't have a roadcaster set up or anything of that nature. It's me projecting my voice. It's me doing everything. If I have to have a sound effect, I got to find it, things of that nature. Everything was done for me. So me just being the voice, I used to just come in and sit down, and I had a board operator, and he took care of all the stuff for bringing the people in via Skype or whatever the case is. And we would then interview them, and it would go directly to my YouTube channel, and facilitate to be done. You know, of course, and he also had it on his website and different other places that you can find.
And now it's relying on you. However, now with that newfound control, right, for lack of better words, do you find that you can make more executive decisions as to the scope of the show or the feel of the show? And how do you come about with those decisions? Because sometimes looking at some of the people that start podcasts like yourself, they kind of like lose the zeal. But you know, me watching your videos and stuff, like every show is like on it, you know. So I'd be interested to know how, that process.
Well, you have more people in this that you facilitate the conversations, you make the stuff happen as far as the guests that you bring. And I tell people, I'm very selective. I don't bring everybody on. I get hit 1,000 times a day in my DM. Mac, and I'm like this. No. Because I don't want the show to have a certain look. I don't want it to have a certain feel. I don't allow my guests to curse on the show. My choices matter according to what I'm doing. So do I pay homage to our pioneers and people who have been in the industry? Like I've had Busy B on the show. You know, he's one of the pioneers out there in hip hop. So when you have people like that, of course, you got to pay homage because this guy has a diamond plus, if you want to say, record on his wall working with Kid Rock. You know, so you got to pay homage. I've had Lisa on the show. I've had a whole bunch of people, but I'm very exclusive with whom I bring on. So I control all of that because of the fact that this is a sole proprietorship. I own the Evening Experience radio show, but it's LLC. I own that. So for me, it works out to where I have creative control of everything. So whom I want to bring on, and I tell people this all the time, I got to check them out first. Oh, but this person has 50,000 followers, and that means nothing to me. I don't care if they had 100,000 followers. If they don't fit my platform, I politely say to them, hey, this doesn't fit my platform, and, you know, there are other shows out there. No, but your show is a show. And I go, I appreciate that. But, and I get really realistic, and I go, yeah, it's the stuff you're talking about, that's not going to be here. Thank you. I appreciate you, though.
I respect that so much, Experience, because that's something that, thank you.
Too loud?
A little bit, but it's okay. He deserved that. He totally deserved that. But, you know, Mecca and I talk about that all the time, that at a certain point, as being a creative, you have maybe not only to society, but you have a responsibility to you. You know what I mean? That whatever you're putting forth is a reflection of you. And, you know, there's so much that's not being said. I think that that's what I appreciated most about the videos that I watched with you, is that you were filling a niche, like with the Lisa's and everything else, that you would say in the back of your head, hey, I wonder how they're doing, or I wonder what they're doing. And then, boop, you got this, and you're like, oh, this is so cool, you know? They talk about how baby boomers, and all of us are pretty much that, maybe one generation underneath, right, are really the second largest buying populace. Do you find that your show caters to them? And how did you, like, the biggest thing everybody talks about is analytics. How did you decide, was it intentional for your target audience, like the people that listen to you? Because you have an audience.
Well, because I go back and look at analytics, and I do so because I want to make sure that I'm meeting the message. So do I have something sometimes for the younger generation? Yes. The middle age? Yes. The elderly? Yes. So everybody is encompassed in that spectrum. What I do is I think about consciously of what I'm putting on, who I'm bringing on, and I try to get the information that feeds that populace's mindset or thoughts or what they might want to know about the industry themselves. Because with the young guys, when you have somebody on who's been in the game or has some knowledge, I like to have them drop jewels. My thing is jewels in of themselves facilitate to give me the process of what I need in order to give them the information that they need, because they're lacking that. They have the skill technologically wise, but they don't have the wherewithal of where to put it or how to use it in the industry itself. So I try to draw out those things. But I try to, I don't really think about it, tell you the God's honest truth, of who I'm feeding in that time. I just try to bring the best people with the best knowledge and the best gems to the show, so I can let the people know, if they have been in the industry, what they've done in it, and give them their accolades and their props. But then at the same time, for those who don't and who are just starting out, maybe they can prevent some of the pitfalls for some of the people who are coming through. When that goes from acting, modeling, you name it, I've had it on. Authors, doctors. And the reason why is because I want to talk about a lot of different things with a lot of different people.
And that actual diversity is wonderful. You know what I mean? Because that is what kind of like keeps on curating your show. It's the expectation of the unexpected, And, we're getting ready to go into commercial time, but just briefly, what goes into the research?
Ooh.
Like, I know for me, I Google, and then after that, I'm calling people that know you and, just to try to get some scoop. Do you do the same?
EPKs, electronic press kit, for those who don't know what that is, bios, and then, like you said, researching on the net, Googling them, if they have a Wikipedia, making sure I check the information against some of the bio and EPK to make sure it matches up. Things of that nature. It's basically hard-on research. So I tell people I'm radio host / reporter, because I have to do my research and then really delve into who that person is in order to speak honestly and respectfully to what they've done. If you're up and comer, if you have a bio, great. But if not, I've been doing it so long that I can ask the questions that will pull out that information.
Exactly. It's that comfort zone. I find as an interviewer, if you get people comfortable, they start doing what Well, you are watching We Got Straight Convo right here on Twitch, as well soon to be on www.shesthebossradio.com. I'm your host, Ameliaismore with DMecca. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
She's the boss radio network.
Once again, you're listening to We Got Straight Convo with your host, Ameliaismore, and your producer behind the scenes, me, I am DMecca, with today's guest, Mach357 from the Evening Experience. Don't forget to tell a friend, to bring a friend, to meet a friend, so we can all be friends right here. We Got Straight Convo. And now we're going to come back to the show. I mean, why not? How we doing? We good?
We're doing it. I see Mac's influence on you, DMecca. I see Mac's influence.
That quick. Yeah, that quick. Yeah, I said, I got he helps represents the big fellas, so I got to definitely got to show the support. So that's what's going on, man. So Mac, you said it's been a game from you. Where are you from originally?
Money earning Mount Vernon. For those
WWW.
Okay, that wasn't supposed to happen, but we're gonna go with this. Yeah, there you go. Right.
I have a question for you. So, in this business, you meet a lot of celebrities, right?
Yeah.
And there's always a fun moment or something that's so surprising about the personality. Like when I met Morgan Freeman, I didn't realize how much of a like regular guy, like prankster he is, you know, and I was super nervous and I was clicking my pen, right? And so then before the interview, he goes, are you ready, Amelia? And I was like, oh, snap, you know. Do you have any funny stories like that?
The one that nearly made me break down on air, which was funny, was the fact that Lisa from Lisa Nicole Jam, Grammy Award-winning artist, said that she watches my show. And at first, you know, we're talking along, whatever the case is, and she says, I said, thank you for being here. And she goes, well, you know, I watch your show. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, you heard me. I watch your show. I think your show is dope. Like, you really have an incredible platform, and I love the way you talk to people, whatever the case is. And I was like, yeah. And she's gorgeous.
Lisa was everybody's heartthrob. Was she your heartthrob back in those days?
Yes. Hello.
Yeah,
I used to remember like all the guys be like, oh, Lisa. Oh.
Listen,
And then I felt bad when Jenny on the Block came on. It was like, uh-oh.
Nah. Lisa still is the hottie. Listen, we hugged each other so much that my cologne transferred to her clothes and her perfume transferred to mine. She's a warm, inviting person, like this beautiful spirit. Just an incredible person, lovely woman, great mom, an incredible person. She is part of Snoop Dogg's army, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg facilitated to put her on his circuit, and he currently travels around the country and has her on different tours and different things for freestyle music, and facilitates to have her in a lot of different things, programming, so forth and so on. Merch is just incredible.
Okay, kudos to Snoop.
What I loved about her, she never lost who she was. She always stood, always is, always, to me, in my opinion, always will be Lisa.
Yes.
Yeah, Snoop is doing quite a few things. I'm so proud of him, between the licensing deals that his law firm is getting for him, as well as him understanding the responsibility of him being a legend, and some of the messaging that he's putting out now is just like really phenomenal. It's so on time. I'm so like really proud of him, hand over fist, because you can see the evolution, you can see the growth, you can see the understanding, but never leaving home.
Right.
Yeah, I just saw a short he put out that he turned down $1 million to DJ Michael Jordan's party, and his reason was because he had other prior engagements, even though they were paying far less money. And I said, you know what? That there is something that these young new DJs and young entrepreneurs need to understand. Just because it's $1 million on the table doesn't mean it's always good. And you're supposed to service those that came before that. If they, they put in the time to have you do something for them. And, you just can't drop people like that. And for $1 million, I'm like, $1 million plus Michael Jordan.
Yeah, but he got millions. For Snoop right now, it's not even about money.
No,
like
but just in general, for anybody, for me, if someone would say, okay, I'm supposed to do like you're doing your little niece's birthday thing, right?
Yeah.
Michael Jordan comes to you 2 days prior to this. It's Michael Jordan, and I'm giving you $1 million. You tell me you ain't gonna sit there and bite your teeth. You're gonna scream. And I was like, you know what? I respect that. And he said, but that's not the way I want to meet Michael Jordan anyway. I want to meet Michael Jordan outside of a business, just on some fringe stuff. And I was like, I got to give him applause for that. And I was like, wow. I said, man, that's what you call having. They say patience is a virtue. I'd have been like, do I love my niece like that?
Well, you see where I am, so
Yeah.
I'm following
So
Snoop's
yeah,
protocol. You know what I mean?
yeah, but
But sometimes
yeah,
you just got to do it, man. It's you
yeah,
know, you just got to do it because the love comes from home. You know what I
right,
mean? The love comes from where you began, and that's your foundation. You let that go, you're nothing. You're really nothing. You can have everything and be nothing, and that's what happens to a lot of celebrities. And you know, feel free to join in, Mac. Because you're not in your head, so I know you can add lib to that as
yes,
well.
Well, commitment, respect for yourself and what you do makes a difference of whether it's $1 million in Michael Jordan or you have prior commitments. If I have prior commitments, you best believe I'm going to be there. Like a friend of mine who's in this industry as well, shout out to the one and only Bella Network. I was supposed to show up to her birthday party and I didn't, because I wasn't feeling well. But I was supposed to show up to her show. She had her first show on Extreme 104 FM, Bella Live. And she's like, Mac, I'm putting you down as a guest. Please show up. And I was like, I'm going to be there. She's like, Mac, please show up. But I showed up because I made a commitment. I told her, I said, I'm giving you my solemn word. I will be there. And guess what? I was there. And she was like so elated and excited. And she hugged me like 5 times. And she's like, I said, I do exist. Yes, I'm a real person. Because she's only seen me on air. And she's like, you do such an incredible job. And, you do, like, you're phenomenal. Like, you're a legend in your own right. And I'm like, I don't see myself like that. I'm a normal guy. I get up, I put one pants leg on at a time. And it facilitates that because of the people I've interviewed in the industry is why she says that. She's like, you interview some of the most famous people in the world. I said, yeah, I know. And to me, it's just, I'm doing my job.
Good people.
yeah,
But I appreciate the love and the admiration that people have for what I do and how I do it. But if you have your word in this industry, it means a lot. Now, this industry doesn't hold its word sometimes, but
mm,
but you learn to deal with the fact that it is what it is. As long as your word is solid, everything
right.
else is what it is.
And what is Al Pacino's favorite line? I have 2 things in this world: my balls and my word, and I don't trade them for nothing. So, so that's basically
there
what
was
that means.
when I
Right. He said, I don't turn them for no one or nothing.
Facts.
exactly.
Yeah.
When I first came into the business, like I knew no one, absolutely no one. I was the supportive wife trying to help my producer husband get music placed, right? And I landed in the black music division of Atlantic Records.
Oh,
And there
wow.
was a gentleman, OG, CB Bullet, right? OG, the
Okay.
radio promotion, everything. Just he sat me down and he said, young lady, there's only 2 things you don't sacrifice for nothing. That's your reputation and your opinion. He said this business is built on those 2 things. He says, because when you're not in the room, your reputation reps you. And if you vouch for something that is whack, you'll be the first one that they say you said it was good. He said, so don't do that. And I held on to that. I really, and still to this day, I hold on to that. That to me is how important it is. And, now 30 years later in the business, and, a lot of the kids that I helped become, get in the business and now these big wigs, and they're like, yo, and like the door opens unexpectedly. And so that's my question to you. I know over the years, you probably interviewed or helped somebody get more recognition because you interviewed them. When they come back, what's that conversation like? Like when you see them later on in their career, what's that conversation like?
Somebody recently said to me, Mac, you were my first interview. You gave me my start and people didn't know who I was. When I got on your show, people started to, talk to me, and some doors opened up, and I'm like, I don't think about that end of it, only because of the fact that, like I said, I just like giving opportunities and a process of helping people where I can, if I can. Like I said, depending on what it is, for me, it's about respecting what I do. And if I'm going to produce a great show, I got to give that to the audience. So having someone that I know can give a great segment and highlight what they do is what I love doing. So it felt good in the sense that somebody told me that, but I was like, I appreciate it. I'm humbled, but I've never thought about it in that sense, because my thing is, too many times people get in their own heads and get out of their own way. They don't know how to stay away from the craziness and the fray of all of the stuff that goes on in the industry. And sometimes they get swept up in it. And I don't believe in that.
Oh, I think oh dear. I lost you guys.
Nope, we still hear you. Well, I still hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These phones, technology.
Your picture froze, but you're still here. Yeah, that when you had a phone call, the phone does that. The phone will freeze your, or
there
put
you
you in
go.
a circle. Yeah.
There we go.
But
I got it.
But with for that said, Mac, like I can vouch for her, because like she's the same way. I'm talking about Amelia. Because when
my goodness, why is somebody calling?
I had to take her to Baltimore to meet my sister, who owns the radio station, her and her partner. And this was their opportunity to, I guess, I don't want to say make an impression, to get their deal for their show. But in the middle of all the because my sister does once a month, she does a meet and greet, like an industry type thing where people just come and provide if they have a business, they get a chance to get like free publicity on the radio stations, all that. And in the middle of all that, I'm sitting here, I'm turning around, I'm looking like, okay, I see a partner. Shout out to Jack, to Miss Lynn, Brooke Lynn, in the bill, and like, yeah, where's Emil? Oh, Amelia is doing a live. She's doing another like this in the middle of the thing, and I'm sitting there like, boy, if that ain't dedication, I'd listen. She outside, like she's like outside in the car now. She was outside of the bar, down the street, and I'm sitting there like, why did I go down the street? But and she was doing another live, and I was like, that's dedication. But the thing for me was, Matt, I've been doing this so long, like I've been doing internet radio about 11, 12 years. I've been doing interviews for the last 4 years. But I've come across so many people, or so many half people. Oh, yo, I want to be down. I want to do this, do that. They'll come in, they'll do like 1 or 2 shows. Then you don't see or hear from them again. They ghost you. And it's like, so I was very leery of it.
Yes, he was.
But he was, like I said, like she said, yeah, okay, I'm good. Funny thing is, she lives right up the street from me. So she's like, I'll be there at like quarter to 10, right, for the show. 9:30, the bell ring. I'm like, oh, it must be the delivery dude. Good thing I was fully dressed, because normally I open the door for the delivery dude. You be in your drawers and t-shirt, and it was her, all bundled up, but she was ready to go. And I was like, you said 9:45, and you only live up the street. But I like being prompt. I'm like, they say if you're 5 minutes early, you're late. I'm like, okay, all right. Since we're gonna throw that old man BS on a person, I'll let you know. But like I said, she's basically the only one I've actually had to stick around and was true to her word about being in this business. And like you had said earlier, I know a lot of people in the industry, just like anybody, but I don't put them on no pedestal. Like you said, just like me, they put on one pants leg at a time. The difference between me and him is his tax bracket is bigger than mine. Right. So, and this goes out as gems to those that are listening that want to be in this industry. heed the words to what we say. Yes, we may not be that so-called household name that you hear outside of this, but we know enough to get you to where you need to be. We've been there, done that, and we got the T-shirt to prove it. So that's basically my my little rant, and I'm gonna give myself a little kudos. Why not? But
we've got to go to a commercial break. You're watching We Got Straight Convo right here on Twitch.tv as well as www.she'sthebossradio.com. We'll be right back.
WSGC.
Once again, yours truly, DMecca. She's the Boss Radio. We got straight convo every second and fourth Friday of the month with yours truly, Miss Ameliaismore, and the big fella. I am DMecca. Spread the word. 2 cups in a string. Smoke signal. Snail mail. Pony Express. Get the word out. And don't forget to catch our shows on Sunday, Sipping Something Sexy, with your host, Miss Ameliaismore and Miss Brooklyn. So, till then, back to our regularly scheduled program. All right. Hey, how we doing, y'all? How we doing? Can you hear me?
We're doing great.
Okay.
So Mac, we were talking about humility and, how important it is, do you find, because sometimes, I joke and I say I'm the gun with the silencer on it, right? But I hit my mark, but nobody knows because the silencer's on it, right? And maybe that's not a good analogy right now in these times, but do you find that sometimes people misconstrue you, like misunderstand you, or don't necessarily know who you are because you don't go around tooting your horn? And if so, when you're in those situations, how do you inform them without losing the integrity of who you are?
I just basically explain to somebody, do your research. A friend of mine told me that a long time ago, like, whenever you're dealing with someone, make sure you do your research. If somebody's inviting me, for instance, you live in New York, right? If you go check, I've been interviewed on Power 105.1. Now, not too many people can say, hey, I've been interviewed on Power 105.1. And if you don't know that, then what research did you really do? Like, if you really check, then you would see all of the things that I've done. The reason why I don't toot my horn is because it's there. And then when other people are going, yo, that's Mach357. Yo, you don't know, that's Mach3. Like, I went to somebody's live on Instagram and I just typed in happy birthday, God bless. Dude was like, yo, that's Mac. Yo, Mac said happy birthday to you from the evening experience. Yo, you don't know how big that is, bruh. Yo, you better. And I was like, I'm just saying happy birthday. For me, it's just normal, but I understand it because, I recently had on Lenny Green from WBLS, The Quiet Storm.
Yes, Lenny. And everybody loves Lenny.
He was dropping jewels. Got the opportunity to talk to him. He said, I'll be watching you. He said, because you never know when that person or anybody that's in that industry will be like, hey, time to go this way. Because he's like, you got a dope platform. And he said, I've watched some of the stuff that you've done already. He's like, dude, you're there. He said, I see that you do your research and I see that you pull up the information. I said, well, because I can't properly serenade you without knowing who you are.
There
I
you
can't
go.
talk about you unless so I tell people that without telling them who I am, because my thing is I don't want to be famous. I want to be infamous. I want to be known for something.
Mm.
And if I'm known for that stuff, the rest falls in place.
There you
Because
go.
walk in and go, well, that's Mach357 because I know he's about his business. He's gonna do X, Y, Z, and that's why I have PRs who have famous people in their roster who go, Mac, I need my client on your show, and I go, I appreciate that, cool, let's get it done, because they know for a fact that they're not only gonna get incredible time, incredible work, incredible interview is because of the fact that I'm going to give them their props, their respect to whom they are in the industry and what they've done. That's what I give out. That sometimes now the respect factor.
That's really important. That respect factor to me is like the key of it all. And I feel like when you go into an interview and you really don't know who that person is, or you really haven't done your homework, you're kind of not respecting that person, and I just feel like, it's a waste of time, because what you could have gotten out of them, because you didn't do your homework, you didn't get out of them. Like, I love when somebody says, I never said this, I never told anybody this, but I'm going to tell you this, Amelia. How many times have that happened to you? Because I've seen it happen with you. And what does that say to you when somebody says that to you?
The I history producer on, and he told a story of when he first was putting out Ether, the beats for Ether. He said, when I put out the actual beats, he said I sent them to Rockefeller first. And he said it took them a while. They got back to me. It was like, nah, we ain't using these. He said, I sent them over to Nas's camp, and I was sending them to everybody, and I didn't hear back from them for about 6 months. And all of a sudden, the album was done, and then they told me that they were going to use the beats. That was an exclusive that was told on my show.
Nice.
So I love when they drop something that they have never told anybody.
Yeah.
And it's organic. I didn't pry. And I'm not a person that pries. I'm not a person, I tell people, your personal life with me is safe, because
Right.
I don't, what you've done, that have nothing to do with me talking about what you've done in the field.
Well, to me, I feel like, and you can chime in if you want, but I feel like that technique is actual real journalism. I mean, you can do whatever you want to do to get clickbait. I get it. But it's so much easier to draw somebody in on controversy as opposed to conversation. And to me, the expert is the person that can handle the conversation, bring out jewels, like you just said, and also entertain that person that they're interviewing to the point where they're so relaxed, Of the many things that you've learned, because I know this has been a journey, not a destination, what is the most remarkable thing that you said back and said, be damned?
I'll say it's everything, because if in order for me to pinpoint one thing, I would have to tell you that it's that one thing that drives me. It's everything. And when I say that, when it comes to respect to the fact that people have incredible stories, incredible things in which they've spoken about. And just to let you know, that was Ron Browse who actually
Yeah, I
did.
know. Eat the boys.
Yo,
Yes, sir.
can you hear me? Yo, why you let me keep saying Mac 357
It's
and
Mac
it's Mach
357.
357? Oh, but on the page it says Mach,
No, no, it's
M-A-C-K-H.
MACH,
I mean,
but it's Mac. So how that came about was it facilitated to when I first tried to get on Instagram, somebody already had MAC 357.
Okay. All
Otherwise, it
right,
would have been
cool.
Mac 357. But I still say
Oh,
tell
okay.
people Mac 357.
Got you. So tell us how, how you got into the business, man.
Well, watching people who have come before me, like Lenny Green, like
Yes. Shout out to Lenny Green. Yes.
Vaughn Harper. Uh,
Ooh.
you're talking about people like DJ Red Alert,
Yeah.
uh, Funk Flex, DJ Self, a lot of different people that I've watched in the industry over the years. I was like, I have a voice and I know how to project. So I started that persona on a show called Thicker and Thicker. It was about giving plus size models their props, talking to them about the industry and trying to help them to get, regular contracts just like they give out to the Naomi Campbells and different other people in the world.
Okay.
So in doing
There
so,
she is. There she is. Okay.
hey,
Oh, I'm so sorry for that.
Okay.
Well, boy, are you the pinnacle professional? Because I was listening to you, Adler, but I was like, get it. Because that was all impromptu. I was like, yeah, bro. That's a ride or die right there.
I'm like, this is not my show, but I'm gonna keep going until.
And it's
I
all
love
recorded. It's all
that.
recorded. So when we get a chance to edit, so we'll edit it just like nothing happened. So okay. But as you were saying, you were saying
Lord
now
have
you
mercy.
got in. You were saying how you got in. You were just talking about that before.
Basically, I got the opportunity. A friend of mine was in Texas. He said to me, you're in sales. You like talking to people. I'm getting ready to do this show called Thicker and Thicker. Want to come through?" I came through and I facilitated to get hooked. I got hooked and I never looked back. 11 years later, and here I am. But now the difference is, for the last 5 years, I've had my own show, which is called The Evening Experience. No longer am I with anybody else or anything else. I'm with myself.
Now, when you started this, were you on radio, or was it when the pandemic started?
It was actually no, actually, I've been on. I was with In the Mix Radio
Right.
first, and I went to DMetric Studios Network, which was on 92.9 Real Deal FM.
Shout out to D. I know I don't know him personally, but I know who you talk about when you say the Matrix.
Yeah.
Yes,
DWI.
yes.
And then from there, when the pandemic hit, I was back on In the Mix Radio. Shout out to DJ Cruz from 103.5 KTU. I from there was back on his station, and when the pandemic hit, he shut the studio down, of course, like everybody else did.
Right.
And I wasn't not going to let my show go, so I started doing it on IG Live, and I've been IG Live ever since. Because of the fact that now
That's what's up.
he's the tour DJ for Lisa. So he's always out of the state and different places, whatever the case is. And I don't trust everybody behind the boards. Now, him being the owner, he know how to run the boards, how I like them run, and what I like done. So not everybody could do that. And instead of me, like I said, paying and doing all this other stuff, I do it from my home now, right here from the boudoir until COVID is over. We here, we live, we lit. That's where that line came from.
The boudoir.
Like, you never stop.
I like it, man.
I've never stopped, and I never will.
But you know what? That's actually the key to to success, consistency, you know?
Yes.
And so for those that Mecca talks about, that kind of starts the ball and then drops it, what advice can you give them to stay motivated? You know what I mean? To stay inspired. Because like you said earlier, this is not an easy road. This is not a road for the kind-hearted or the easy influenced. You got to sometimes stick to your grind like you explained earlier. Like, yeah, but no. What advice could you give us?
Well, I tell people like this. I'm gonna give you two scenarios. One is my personal, and the other one is just um, respect for what I do. The first one is
Right.
I have a regular 9 to 5 that I have 40 hours a week. I grind like nobody's business at my job, as well as I facilitate to do this. And I put in the same amount of time and work, effort, and everything else in what I do here. So I don't give one more prop than the other. I don't respect one more than the other. I respect them equally. And at times, my job will be like, well, can we have you work on this? Nope. That's my preferred day off. And I want it that way because I have a show that's on Thursday. And I have an LLC and it's a business. And I have to be there for the people who watch me just as well as you who pay me. And they go, I get that. I understand. But
Respect.
the fact, but but the other side of that is I never give in, I never give over, and I never give up. There's no
Day.
process for me not doing what I do. I have to respect what I do. I have to care about what I do. I tell people this show is like a child. You have to feed it, you have to clothe it, you have to talk to it, you got to hug it, you got to kiss it, even when it's acting like a brat. And
Yeah. Like today.
Yeah. Thanks, Con Ed.
When
Thanks.
it got a mind of its own.
Yeah. Reverse shout out to Con Ed. Thanks. Yeah. Okay.
the show,
Yeah. Not.
the show must go on.
But oh my goodness, we're gonna end this today, but we're definitely gonna bring you back. Hopefully, you can come down from Mount Vernon and be, part of the studio experience with us and see what the magic. He really does some serious magic over here, and I can't thank you enough. But I'm seeing, like in any card game, you got to know when to hold and when to fold. But between everything, Con Edison, the party, and just the energy, I really want to thank you so much. You are an amazing being. I understand why your show is having all the success. On behalf of Mecca and I, we wish you continued success, and we're here for you. So you need us to plug or whatever we can do in our own little world as we're growing, we're there for you. Because I feel like that's what we need to start doing more of. And so if there's anything that you want to make sure people know
what you
about
got coming
the
up?
experience as well as you, let us know right now. Drop it on us.
So once again, it's boy
And give
Mach357.
it all him.
This is the Evening Experience Radio Show. 7 to 9 on Thursday goes down right here in the boudoir. Keep tapping in on IG Live. You'll see a lot of incredible guests, a lot of incredible people coming down the pike. And as I tell people all the time, you'll never know who you're going to see on that screen. So the process is tap in, check in, do what we do best. You can find us on the Evening Experience, all one word, on Instagram, on Facebook. It's the Evening Experience group. You can find us on Twitter, The Evening Exper. You can find us our YouTube channel, The Evening Experience. Tap in, check in with your boy. And like I said, there's a lot of people that you will go, yo, I didn't know he knew. Well, yeah, I do. And we're going to get it popping every week. And I appreciate this incredible show. And thank you for having me as a guest. And I can't wait to come back.
Salute, man. Thank you.
So once again, y'all, this is We Got Straight Convo with your host, Ameliaismore, and I am DMecca with today's host, Mac. See what me saying it, Mach357 from the Evening Experience, man. So check them out every Thursday night at what time again?
7 to 9 p.m.
7 to 9 p.m., man, and you never know who's on the show unless you follow. So until the next time, y'all, I like to give shout outs to everyone. Shout outs, Godspeed to the families from Texas and from last week from Buffalo, and a rest in peace to Ray Liotta, man. We just lost another great actor, great human being as well. So until the next time, y'all, we out. Peace.